Hello, this is Matthew Horney with AEP 859. This is my second assignment. I'm calling it Technology Enriched Student Involvement Lesson. Target students and materials needed for this lesson. Well, this lesson is going to be geared towards my 4th grade students. They will be doing collaborative research with a partner, and they're going to be presenting whole group with conclusions that they make. Materials that they're going to need. Well, each student will need a laptop or computer with internet access to do research on. They will need access to Prezi.com. I set up a teacher's account. That way I have access to all of the presentations that they do, and I can monitor what changes that they make. They're also going to need books pertaining to their topic, states, and the region, directions for the student. They have a questionnaire sheet that guides their decision making, and it's a recording sheet. And they're going to need research materials, including digital resources. On my website, I'm going to list different websites for my students to go to, save them time in typing the address in and any mistakes that they might make doing so. Assignment objectives. Students are going to create a digital brochure that demonstrates the understanding of the states that make up the 7 different regions of the United States, drawing conclusions of which region would be the best to live in for the data collected from the different states researched. They're going to be explaining their thinking. They're going to explore how people use data to make decisions in their lives. And they're going to evaluate how the classmates chose which region was the best to live in and why. Students will decide if they agree or disagree with others' opinions and support their ideas. And students will demonstrate their understanding of place value, comparing numbers by applying data to real-world applications. This assignment is very fun and exciting for the students. They enjoy getting on the computers, and if you're not familiar with Prezi.com, it's kind of like a slide point presentation, but instead of being the lateral movements, it's kind of like a web kind of deal, and you can move the web around to make it spin around and to grab different slides. It's actually pretty neat. Project assignment. Well, first, I'm going to use Kagan strategies to get my students to be talking to each other, and I'm going to set up my groups to be heterogeneous and make up. That way I'll have my high student working with like a low-high student. My low-medium students can work with my low student. That way they're working with students that are near the level that they're at, but not the same. That way one can push one to work a little bit harder and to double-check the other's work. Students are going to have a handout that they will be able to go to the class's website to do this activity. They'll use the websites along with other websites to create a brochure that will use data to explain why one region will be better or worse to live in than another. The students will record their data on forms that they use to organize their thoughts. After they have collected data on the states from the 7 regions, they will answer the questions that will help them to decide which region is the best to live in or not to live in. While working with a partner, they will divide the workload so one is studying one region while the other is studying another. Then they will share their findings. These papers can be collected and graded for a math and social studies grade. Step number 4, students will use Prezi.com to make their presentations with their partner. A template will be used to save time. When I get on Prezi here in a little bit, I'll show you what the template that I would recommend for this one. Students still will put pictures in there, and they will add their data in there. So it basically just is a guideline for them to use, but they can manipulate it, change it, and spin it. It's really neat. Step number 5, when finished, the students will present the brochures with their partners to the class. And step number 6, the brochures will then be posted on the class's website. So once the students select a file, they'll have this template that pops up that looks like this. This is a zoomed out version of it, but like I said, it looks kind of like a spider web. This is a central part of the presentation, and then I put the regions in the different areas. So the students will be able to go to this region and enter the information that needs to go there. Over here, I click on this and it zooms into the different parts. So there's the main part that I keep referring back to. Click over here, it takes us over to the Midwest states. I click over here, it takes us to the West, and these are the different parts of the slides that it moves to. And as the kids go on, they can click edit path and they can tell which place to go next and to make it spin or whatnot. For demonstration purposes, I went ahead and I put some information in for the Midwest. You can grab the slides and you can move them around to change the order that they pop up in the display. I like to have this one first. It talks about the different states. Here's the names in the list. And then here's a picture of the maps. I like to move it up. You see how they all move around so easily. So the kids can play around with it and see which way they like to see it move. And if they don't like the way it looks, they can modify it, they can change it. But again, this is for all those little slides right here that I just made. They're all for over here with these different regions. So let's come back over here to the beginning and let me show you a quick presentation. Click on the present. This will pop up. You hit exit to get out of it, but the region that I chose to talk about is the Midwest. To get out of it, basically all you have to do is click on the exit and it'll pop right off. So then you click on this arrow down here and it's going to move us to the first slide that's on there. So there it shows the states that are part of the Midwest. Then it spells them out in cursive, neat handwriting. And then it's going to take us to the state flags. Kansas is over here, there's our flag, but the kids will see the different other flags. Now this is stuff that you can already have in there for the students, or the kids can already have it in their H drive or on a jump drive, and they pull it off and they put it in there. The next part of the slide talks about points of interest, Midwest region, wildlife of the Midwest. For the assignment, they're supposed to find the population size, precipitation, and the square footage of the state, so that they can decide, which state would be best to live in and for what reason, which one would be worst to live in and for what reason. So once again, you're just going through the different slides, and you can put in any order that you want. If you want, you can have the groups of partners work on the same region to pick different states to research, or you can assign different kids to each region, and they can pick the different states that they would like to research and to find out about. The purpose of this activity is to have them show understanding of place value, rounding numbers, being able to sort which state has the most population, which one has the least population, most rainfall, least rainfall, and they can add different slides into their presentation. But this over here is very user friendly. Once again, you can grab the slides, you can move them around, change the order that the presentation's in. You can zoom out and see the whole web. You can zoom in to the smaller areas, and this is the Midwest region that I just talked about. So if they want to change it, all they have to do is click this edit path, and then they can change where the numbers are. So like right here, here's a 4, here's a 7, here's a 3. Then also as you're talking about it in class, you can add the YouTube videos and just build that background knowledge, and it's a great way to integrate social studies and math at the same time. Kids are excited, they're using technology, they're making a product that they're going to be able to share with everybody else. So during this assignment, I give them a handout. During this assignment, I give them this handout that I just made on Microsoft Word. I'm calling it, it's in the numbers, and it gives them the direction, tells them what to do from step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. It also tells them the different regions and what states are in those different regions, and it gives a list of the websites that they can go to, gather information and gather pictures of the states that they are talking about. There's a great little graphic organizer that gives us the regions, and then they can list the states that are in there, and then they can list the states in population size order, least to greatest, greatest to least, however they choose to do it, as long as they explain and they show the numbers. Precipitation, square miles, and this is just to help them gather their information. You can modify it to where you can have the group of kids only work on one region, and then have the kids all together at the end talk about which state they would choose from that region. The main goal though is for the two partners to work together and do all of the regions, and maybe split them down the middle and say partner A researches the northeast to southeast, and then partner B researches southwest and west, and then they both research the Midwest and share their findings. They will also have this worksheet that they're going to be filling out that talks about well, the math side of it. Which ones had more, which ones had less. And these are also going to be on my website for the students to be able to gather the information from another place like their home if they wanted to work on it from home. This is the class's website. As you can see, I teach at Junior Barker Elementary School. There's my information that's on the side. Then they have this part over here that goes to more resources from my old website. And then here's the region data, census, school facts, state facts, region data, state master, climate, rainfall. So pretty much everything they need for that assignment, they'll be able to find it in all 50 states over here. This assignment probably won't be done in one day. I mean, it's tying in both subject areas, and they're going to need time to do their research, to fill out the graphic organizers, and then they're going to need time to work on Prezi. Prezi is a really neat program, but if they had never worked on it, it does take time to train them and to teach them how to use it correctly. But they are so excited about it because most of them have experience with PowerPoints, and if they have that experience, it's not going to be too bad of a transition into the Prezi. And it does take practice, and you're going to have to make yourself available to be able to go around from group to group and to help them out as needed. This looks like it's going to be a very fun assignment to do with my students. To finish what we're doing though, how was the assignment meet the objectives? Well, students are going to work with a partner to research different regions of the United States using the internet with given websites for guidance. Students are excited to use the technology for the research and using Prezi for their presentations. Students draw conclusions from the data that they collect and have to defend their conclusions during their presentations. And students have to interpret data from different states and compare and order numbers to draw their conclusions. Students are excited to use the different software and even more excited to have their work published on their class's website. That website that I just showed you, I'm going to take the presentations and I'm also going to post them on there so the kids can show their family members from home or other places what they have done in class. They get more ownership over it, and they're excited to share the information that they found. And Prezi, it's pretty neat to watch. How the assignment meets the curriculum? Well, for math, it ties into two Common Core standards. NVT.2, which compares multi-digit numbers based on their place values using inequality signs. NVT3, which is understanding place value by rounding multi-digit numbers. In social studies, it goes with G3.4.2, which identifies conditions that determine the location of human activities, and G3.1.3, which identifies and gives examples of the difference between political and physical features within a region. This is a really fun assignment for the students, and this is a good way to get them involved using technology and to be excited about subject matter by sharing the finished product on the website with other people outside the school. This concludes my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and good luck to everybody else.